All right, what's going on, y'all, man? We're back with another episode of Ask Pops. I am your big bro, War.
Pops.
And, of course, Chloe waited to make her entrance again. What's up, Chloe? Hey, man. So we're back with another episode of Ask Pops, man. And I think today, man, we want to get back into you and who you are, Pop. So
yeah, that way I can stay out of trouble.
Right, we gotta keep you out of trouble. We've been going a little deep in on the last few episodes, so let's keep it light for a minute. And again, y'all, any other questions you guys have or any other subjects you want, to ask Pop about, whether it's advice or just something that you may be interested in hearing him talk about or giving his perspective on, send your questions to askpops70@gmail, or you can DM us on Instagram at askpops70, ASKPOPS70. That's on Instagram, Facebook, and at gmail.com. So
and we won't call your name, so go ahead and send it in.
Yeah, we won't call your name. You can send it in under as anonymous. We're just here to put this content out, man, and just share some good perspective and suck all the wisdom out of Pop while he's still here with us. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna be around at least another 25 years.
Another 25 years.
At least
okay.
25.
All right, I can dig it, man. So hey, a lot more to come, y'all. So Pop, so at 70, you just turned 70 not too long ago.
Yeah. 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months ago. Yeah. So let me ask you this: like, how does life differ now at 70 as opposed to when you were 20, 40, and 60?
Well, when I was 20, man, I was having a good time. Then I got married, and then it was a ton of responsibilities.
Yeah.
Just 99% responsibility.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe 1% of you get to breathe, but that's what you sign up for.
Right.
In my 40s, I think I was a little more settled in. It was still responsibility.
Yeah.
But I started figuring it out.
Okay. You had your routine together.
Yeah. There was a routine by the time I was 40.
Yeah.
Which consisted of still with the family, had 2 jobs. Mm-hmm. Had some extracurricular activity with church and things like that. Mm-hmm. But again, you get a routine and you kind of know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't bad. 60 is when I was single again, and sort of starting to take care of my mom. Looking forward to retirement. So your vision of everything starts changing. The kids are grown. Yeah. Got grandkids at that stage of your life. So as the years progressed, I started kind of figuring it out, knowing what I liked, what I didn't like, knowing what I would like to do, what I didn't like to do, and you start kind of settling in. I started just kind of settling into that lifestyle.
Okay. So now at 70, would you say life is better than the previous years? Do you feel like you're living your best life now?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely, I'm living my best life now, because I think for most of us, whether you're a man or woman, the responsibility of bills and family just sucks the life out of you, and it shouldn't. But it just, I'm pretty sure
it's Western culture, man. It is how. Yeah.
And I think there's so much that is available to us. We want so much, and but it doesn't have to be. You can live a really comfortable life with a family and pay your bills on time. You just can't want so much. You know what I'm saying? And if I had to do it all over again, I would do some things differently. In hindsight, I think we all would. Yeah. But the thing of it is, I say with everybody, learn to spend less and be content with what you have. Unless you really need it. Yeah. Don't go out and try to buy it. Okay. You can buy a $50,000 car, but you can also buy a $25,000 car, and they both would take you from point A to point B. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I would say I would live even more so in my means. Y'all probably wouldn't go to Christian school because y'all were there.
So these are things you would do differently.
I would do differently.
Okay.
Yeah, I would do those things.
Yeah, give us a couple things you would do differently.
Yeah.
So are you saying on hindsight being 2020, do you feel like we lived beyond our means, or there were adjustments that you would have made during those times?
I think there were adjustments I would have made.
Okay.
Because I think we stayed within our means the entire time.
Yeah.
We were not splurge. We didn't splurge. We didn't go off the deep end.
Definitely.
Yeah. I think we stayed right within our means. It was just there were more bills than money.
So what would you have done different?
I would have done differently is that the cars that we bought the right car, even if it was new, it was a cheap one. I think the big thing for me is we spent a lot of money putting y'all in an education system that we couldn't afford.
Okay.
That to me would have eliminated some other financial things that we had.
Okay.
Other than that, I think your mom and I were on point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do.
Okay.
And like I said, it was, as a man, you take on that responsibility, but you do what you need to do to get through it. And for me, I didn't mind working 2 jobs. I was tired, dog tired. But the fact of the matter, I saw my family getting some of the things they wanted.
Yeah.
I saw the bills paid. I saw, mama taking y'all to the movies or wherever, the things y'all wanted to do periodically. So it was worth me working 10, 12, 14 hours a day, So that would be the only major thing I would change there.
Okay.
I think another thing I would probably have be more aggressive, looking for different jobs.
Okay.
Because you get on a job, you get settled in, but there's so many other opportunities out there if you just pursue them. And I just got settled in the job situation.
Okay.
When I got to the law firm, which I was there for 17 years. When I got to the law firm, that pretty much I knew I was going to be there till I retired.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So what would you say is one of the most important life lessons that you've learned in your 70 years?
The most important life lesson I learned is if you're married, put everything you can into being the best husband you can possibly be. If you have children, do all you can to be not only raise your children, but to be an example and a mentor for your child.
So how do you do that? Well, because in my mind, it's, and I don't have any children, but it's like just being present is that something different? Like how would you be a mentor to your children outside of just the day-to-day take care of their needs?
Well, with y'all, when y'all were growing up, I realized that I had 3 kids, but they were all different. So with you, your mother realized when you were just a baby that you liked music. You would go under the cabinet while she's washing dishes. You would pull out about 4 or 5 pots, get a couple of big spoons, and sit on.
Make a whole lot of racket.
You would just beat. Because, we played like Christian music all the time.
Yeah.
So you would sit there and beat to the tune of the music. And she never stopped you because she realized you enjoyed doing that. As you begin to get older, I don't know if you realize, I was singing on the choir that your daddy sang or whatever. But then I started wanting to do some recording. So because I knew you liked music, I would take you to the studio with me.
And I think you actually were the one that encouraged me to try out for the bongos and the drums at the church, while you was singing.
Exactly. And then you end up playing the bongos and the drums at church. So I found something that you really enjoyed.
Yep. To have my first recording session. I still have that cassette.
Exactly.
I still got it.
Exactly. I still got your first recorded song. Yeah. And so with that, I
beat that day.
Yeah.
First actual recorded beat that day.
Yeah.
To the song that I recorded.
So it was like I knew paying bills was my responsibility. Putting a roof over your head, feeding you.
Yeah.
But you were a soul, you were a person, a little person that had to grow up in this world. And I wanted to make sure that if you listen to anybody, I was going to be one of the people that you listen to.
Yeah.
And I had something you worth listening to it. You know, so I wanted you to know what your dad did. I want you to be comfortable being around your father, because most kids, they are on the, on the video games, and they might take them out to get something to eat, and then they're right back home. But I wanted us to have some type of camaraderie relationship, and it lasted even to the day. We were out shooting Sunday at the gun range. Yeah. So that's one way. And even with your sisters, I knew they were both girls, but they were different. Cynthia liked different things from Michelle. So what I did was I would take them out on a date night, and I would take them different, not together.
Okay.
But I would take them separate. Wherever they wanted to go, we would go out and just eat, and then they would talk about the school or talk about a friend or whatever. And we just sit there and small talk, and then we would go back home. Michelle got to the point to where she liked to see her friends after school, like at games and things like that. So in order for her to go, I took her.
Okay.
I said, you can hang out with them, but they're not going to pick you up. Let me take you to the game. I'll sit on wherever, and you just hang out with your friends until the end of the game.
Yeah.
So that began to build a strong relationship. Then as she got older, she was able to talk to me about some of her issues and things that she was dealing with. Cynthia the same way. I found things that I thought Cynthia would like, and I gave her nickname, my only youngest daughter.
Right.
And right till today, she still uses that same nickname.
Right.
So I think for me, it was knowing that my kids were my kids. I wanted to be able to be a positive influence for them. So I had to look at them as individuals and find where I could place myself in their life where they could accept that. And then we could just kind of have that camaraderie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's basically just being present, being intentional about being involved in their life, not necessarily being pushy or, forceful, but just being creative of just getting as much one-on-one time with each child as you can.
Yeah, but it has to be something that they like to do.
Okay.
Because as parents, we sometimes get it backwards. We try to tell them what they should be doing.
Right.
Or what they should like.
Right.
But you find out what their likes are. And sometimes it's just standing back and observing.
Yeah.
But you got to do that be purposeful on purpose, to do that.
Okay. That's what's up. So that's a good life lesson. Being the best husband or spouse that you can be. Being the best parent and mentor to your child.
Yeah. Even when the grandkids came.
Yeah.
I've got 5 grandboys now.
Yeah.
And they're all kind of in between 6 and 7 years all together. A couple teenagers, a couple getting ready to be teenagers, and one in a year or so will be. So they were all together. So with that, from the time they were born, your mom and I used to babysit, because we wanted them to get used to us. As they got older, we would bring them over on weekends and let them spend the weekend with us because they like being around us. So we got a chance to kind of look at how they reacted, how they kind of played with each other. And we wanted them to know each other. So when we got the grandkids, we got all 5, all at the same time. Because we wanted them to know that all of you, all 5, mean the same to us. And so we ended up buying sleeping bags. And then when they would come over for the weekend, all piled into the guest room, or we had a room over the garage where they would just all pile in, and they would just hang out for the weekend. And then the youngest seemed to get picked on all the time. It was just a thing. So I noticed that. I said, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Because I used to fix their breakfast. What I did, I recruited him to help me fix breakfast, which gave him something to do. And all the 4 were at the table while the youngest and I fixed breakfast. We had pancakes and bacon and all of that. And the food was so good, they started liking him. So from that point on, every time I had him for the weekend, they would say, you're gonna fix the pancakes. And then what happened was, then they wanted to start. So then I had to do a rotating kind of thing.
Okay.
So I was always trying to find ways to generate camaraderie and love and respect and all of that. And right till today, you know, when I see him, it's like I saw him yesterday. Actually, the youngest that I was talking about, he had a birthday on December 3rd.
Right.
And I took him a card and his birthday present yesterday.
Yeah.
So although they are growing up now, I still have moments when I can interact with them. And they still remember they'll never forget that.
Yeah.
They'll always be a part of their life. And I would just say to fathers, if you got kids or grandkids, they really want you to be in their life. But you have to be intentional in their life. And with everything in the world today, you want to be, if anybody going to be an influence, you want to be one of those influences.
Yeah. And speaking of that, man, that's what's